Okay, this video is in response to my phone call today on September 5th, Saturday the 5th, with the customer service with the Louisiana Grills company, pit boss, and all that. So this is my Louisiana Champion right here. It's unplugged. Move around it here. We had to take this door off the hopper to get into it. And take a look at this auger here. And so I just want you to take a look at it right now. This is bought November of 2018. And immediately the igniter didn't work. I called them. We got it, put together on a weekend. Called them. I had it by Tuesday, the igniter. We replaced it. That worked. And then they gave me a new igniter when we had to replace this when it was just less than a year. So the main control, because we were getting flare-ups. And then when we did that, we also had to replace the temperature probe on the inside, and I'll show you that. But what we found in here is this was hanging down here because this set bolt was gone and out, laying on the ground down here. That was the case again today. As you can see, that set bolt right there, it's in. I don't think you can get it any tighter. Allen wrenches and everything. This no longer moves, but it was hanging down, and I will take that out, that bolt, to show you what it looked exactly like. So that was one of the issues. But just taking a look at the grill, I mean, on the outside of it, it's 2 years old, kept under a canopy. We have the cover for it. But some of the issues that we're having now, the smokestack in itself over here, no, we have had no issues with this. So the issue we had a year ago was this would display, I usually cook between 250 and 300. And it would display between, 250 and 300 or 200 to 300. Yet over here, I would get a display that it was at 450 and just pumping and pumping more pellets in. It didn't match up. Well, then it would go right back down and it would match up to this. So let's take a look inside. We've taken all the guts out of it. Hopefully we can kind of see this in here. We've taken all the guts out of it because we had to get to the bottom of it. So our cook plate, this is the back side of the cook plate here. It's just burning up at this point because this thing gets so hot. Those are our grills right there. But one of the things I want you to kind of look around in here and see is, other than a little bit of dust down here and then some charring back there, a little line right along where the plate sets up, there's not a ton of grease in here. But one of the issues that we have is that it will keep feeding. There's no igniter in right now because it went bad. It won't turn on. We can't get any heat out of it. It'll keep feeding into this plate basket here to the point that it spills out over and onto the sides. And then it takes off. This starts to burn. This starts to burn. And then what we've also seen down here is that thick, about 2 inches of dust after, let's say, doing a brisket, doing an 18-hour smoke. We'll have 2 inches of dust in there. So the problem I see here is right here. This is pulled forward. You push it back. Well, one of the things that we noticed last night when it caught on fire again, this had gone forward. The auger obviously was moving around, and we were getting pellets stuck all through here. And then it would build up here, and then they would catch to this, which is right underneath that little kick plate to kick the things out, so if it's pushed all the way back. So this should not be able to move that far. It's almost 1/4 of an inch. That 1/4 of an inch creates a situation where it's not that far from this. And you can see this is charred from being burned. So that moves around in there. But, it's not filthy dirty. Then here's the problem. It got so hot 2 weeks ago. The barrel. The outside. It's the same on the back. Let's go around to the back. Take a look at it. That's bowed back out. I don't know if the drum itself is bad, anymore, but this is what we see when we go to close it. It won't even sit down anymore. See that? See that gap? Now watch. Push it all the way down. It's a little bit better. It seals better, but I'm going to have to do something to that because there's so much smoke and stuff escaping up here now that it's coming. We're losing the paint off the top of it. It's gotten that hot in this area. We see some of that charring over here too. The same thing. It doesn't set all the way down. Hear that? Listen. So I don't know what to tell you. They told me on the phone that if you set it at 250, that it's to continue to feed. It'll continue to feed because it can't go out. And so if it goes up to 600 degrees, even though you have it set at 250, it'll just keep feeding. Well, then how do you control temperature is my question. So I'm going to stop this video now. I'm going to take that one bolt out of the auger and I will make a next video. And then we'll upload these to YouTube. And people can look at these and try to figure out, you know, are you having the same problems? But at this point, the only thing that I can really think of is that the entire hopper, were the brains for this whole thing, there's just something not right somewhere, maybe in the wiring bundle or something that's causing it to either short out this control and make it do funny things. But at times when it has worked, it's been beautiful. You can control it, you can do whatever you want with it. But then at other times, it just takes off on you. We've gotten to a point that we have to clean it after every grill. I mean, we have to take all the grill grates out. We have to take that plate out from inside of it, and then we got to clean it and suck all of the extra pellets that are laying in it that didn't burn. And then that powder gets around the igniter, and it gets 1 inch to 2 inches deep. And in Oregon, I guess, you know, I don't know how you do this in the Midwest with humidity, but it turns into briquettes. And that's where we found that we got to get those out every time now because there's so much dust. They told us, oh, are your pellets old? And I go, I order them from Walmart like you told me. I use Pit Boss pellets like you told me. I do all of these things. Well, how old are they? I don't know. When they get to me, by the time I use them, maybe a month, 2 months old. And they're kept in airtight containers, in their plastic, sealed up. So I don't know what it is, and they're kept in a garage. So I don't know. I was a big fan of the Louisiana and the Pit Boss up until this final breakdown, and we are now being told we are without a barbecue for 2 to 3 weeks if they're going to replace it under warranty, the parts. But at this point, it's done so much damage to the possible shape to it, I don't know how they can't replace the whole thing, but they probably won't.